that you drew. JC.
This is such a slam dunk. Johnny Chan. Don't even come up. You don't have a chance. You don't stand a chance.
James is going to have to use all his acting skills to get past Johnny Chan. But once upon a time in America, anything could happen. And James is an accomplished poker player in his own right.
Suited ace-8 for Johnny Chan. He calls. And James Woods will check with his offsuit 7-3.
Powerful hand, offsuit 7-3.
Flop comes out 5 Queen Jack.
Nobody has flopped anything here. Johnny still leads with ace high. James is making like he's going to bet here with his 7-3. He realizes he's going to have to play a very unusual game if he's going to beat Johnny Chan. He's going to have to do a lot of acting, and he started already.
Okay. He checks.
After all that, he checked.
Johnny checks right back. Turns at 10 of diamonds. Not a lot of help. Check. James checks. Johnny checks right back.
Johnny was confused by James's act on the flop.
River's at 2 of clubs.
Now, James has threatened to bet with nothing 2 times, and now he actually does bet with nothing. All Johnny has is ace high, and he immediately throws it away.
An Oscar-worthy performance from James Woods.
This is what he's going to have to do to win this match.
Of course I'm going to win this thing, and I'll tell you why, because I'm the luckiest poker player that ever lived. I'm not worried about this, and I like being David to Goliath. And, you know, I promised my mother I'd beat Johnny Chan, so I got to do it. I got Lady Luck on one shoulder, my mom looking over the other, and poor old Johnny Chan sitting there with all the expectation of the world on his shoulders. So how dangerous do you think I am when I don't care about the money, I don't care about the chips, and I have no ego? What do you think is going to happen every time I go all in?
James Woods with ace-jack.
He could raise with this hand.
He calls. Now the stoic countenance of Johnny Chan with an even bigger hand, big slick, ace-king.
Johnny's going to raise.
To 5,200.
How much is that?
4,000.
Huh? 4,000.
Raises 4,000.
Now what's James Woods going to do here with ace-jack? He's going to raise.
To 9,200 now.
James Woods has made a very unusual play. He's raised Johnny Chan 4,000. That's exactly what Johnny Chan raised him, and Johnny Chan is confused.
You only raise 4,000? You should raise more.
If I raise more, you might go out.
That's right.
James Woods is playing this perfectly. He's making Johnny Chan think he has a really big hand.
I got too much money invested.
And Johnny, rationalizing that he's already in deep, will call.
He just called. He did not go all in with his ace-king. James Woods has Johnny Chan, one of the greatest players in the world, confused.
Flop is 4-7-9, couple of diamonds.
That helps nobody, Matt.
Check it.
Johnny quickly checks, and James quickly moves all in.
James Woods is putting his tournament life on the line with ace-high, and a worse ace-high than Johnny Chan. Johnny Chan is still confused. A very gutsy play. Johnny Chan might have had a pair of tens, a pair of jacks. He has the perfect hand for James Woods to maybe pull off this bluff.
Okay, all right, got it.
And Johnny lays it down, shows the ace-king. James shows the ace-jack and takes a walk.
Johnny is stunned. James Woods has just outplayed Johnny Chan.
You breathe okay?
My only play of my life, that's it. You should take it as a compliment that I did that, because you're the only guy on earth I would do that with.
I'm probably the only guy on earth probably just call with ace-king. They usually move in or fold.
Can James Woods bluff his way past one of the all-time greats?
How you doing, Les? That's Lester, right? Sam. From my recollection, aren't you the card shark, the golf hustler, the pimp from Beverly Hills?
James Woods in the classic Vegas film Casino. And Woods used some of his acting skills earlier in this match with Johnny Chan. Johnny keeps an orange by his chips when he plays. It's a tradition that started years ago when he brought an orange to the table and he thought it brought him good luck. James thought that perhaps to get past Johnny, he had to get past the orange first.
Ollie.
I got a grapefruit.
My lucky grapefruit, babe. I got my lucky grapefruit right here. Got my lucky grapefruit. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let me just see something here. I'm sorry, may I touch you? Let me just see. Well, wait a minute now. I just, let me see. Well,
Okay. Let's have a bit of pineapple.
whatever works. I'll take whatever edge I can get.
So you went out there and got your grapefruit.
Pretty funny line from Johnny Chan. He said, I'm going to go get a pineapple.
James looking down at suited connectors. So he calls, and Johnny Chan with offsuit King Jack. He checks.
Yeah, Johnny Chan is not going to raise out of position with a King Jack offsuit.
I don't think you ever do anything that doesn't surprise me.
Flop comes out 4-5-10.
Sorry.
James Woods is flop bottom pair.
Johnny and James both check. Turns a 5 of hearts. Johnny checks.
James Woods still has the best hand here. He should take a little feeler bet. Should win the pot right here.
I'll check.
He checks instead.
He got scared.
River's a deuce of clubs. Johnny checks. And James checks and wins the pot.
He may have won the pot, Matt, but he was very passive in that pot. He's getting away from the strategy that's won him all those chips.
Get up there.
Nope. I didn't think so, but I wasn't willing to bet a lot on it.
That's some pretty cards.
Yeah.
Just can't connect them.
Johnny is starting to play mind games with James. He's telling James he's getting pretty cards and he's unable to connect them. He wants to put some fear in James, and no one can do that better than Johnny Chan.
Johnny with 9 deuce offsuit.
Go raise it.
And he will raise.
2 more.
Immediately, Johnny Chan is playing off of showing James Woods that King Jack. He's raising here with 9 deuce offsuit. And James Woods goes out. Johnny Chan wins the pot with 9 deuce offsuit. This is poker at its highest level.
As performed by one of the kings of poker psychology.
I'm working in your mind. I want you to do what I want you to do. I want you to call. I want you to fold. I want you to raise. Those kind of things.
When people say, oh, you're playing Johnny Chan, it's like, yeah, okay, well, you know, I got an 184 IQ, and I play every day of my life, and I'm not a professional like him, and I'm certainly not a 2-time World Series winner and so on, but I tell you something, I'm not worried about this.
I talked to him last night. He told me I just won a tournament, beat 154 players. I said, really? Yeah, it was like nothing. So anytime anybody won a tournament, he's a pretty good player. So I never underestimate my opponents.
And Johnny is certainly not underestimating James now. James has hung in there with him.
Well, James Woods has represented himself very well so far against Johnny Chan. Enjoying a slight lead. Chan was suited 10 tray, and he'll raise to 4,500. Offsuit ace-9 for James Woods.
Johnny has continued his aggressive strategy. He's put in a modest raise with 10-3. James Woods has a hand you would usually at least call with. Wouldn't be a bad play to put in a substantial raise here.
What'd you raise it? 2,500.
James looks a little shell-shocked.
Raise it 2,500, Taylor. Thank you.
And James folds and shows the ace.
James is trying to say, I know you had a better hand, and that just confirms to Johnny Chan that he is totally inside James's head.
The psychological advantage has swung to Johnny Chan. Welcome back to the National Heads Up Poker Championship at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas.